So I will go slow with English. I hope it's okay. Okay. Yeah. Good. It's very interesting to sit here and listen. And I actually don't understand most of it. But we have our senses, and you can feel in the room when it's something interesting and we share the same value that things are important, right? So I just want to give you, I will do more in the workshop, but briefly the best thing I can give to you, and that is a little short speak about values. And I found out that values are very important. I started to work with people, clients, one-to-one coaching and mentorship and all of that. 98, that is so long time ago, so that is like 1998. Oi, oi, oi. I started to work with people and I found out that if I ask the question, what is important for you in your life? What is so important for you in your life that if I take it away from you, I threaten you? Because that is what values are. It is something that is so important for you that if I take it away, I threaten you. Like you don't feel like yourself. You feel bad. It's not good. And people started immediately to think, because we are not used to think about values from that side. We are used, which I probably know all of you have, in your business, company, whatever it is, your values. And some print them on the wall, but they are in folders and on web pages and all of that. And it's values that we stand for, but it's also values that we think is good to have there, right? So if you go to schools and you do speeches to kids and all of that, I used to ask the teacher or the principal first, like, what is your values of your school? And they always have like 3 or maybe 4, right? And learning is, of course, one. And then when I talk to the students, I ask them, like, what is important in your life? It's not that value all the time, right? So I understood the thing we are doing. We are talking about values like something we want to grab over there, right? But when I ask you now, what is your personal values? And I'm looking at you. Yeah. She immediately started, what? What is your values, your personal values? Because you're doing a lot of interesting, inspiring, and important things in here, right? That's why we are here. But if you should have the drive, the passion, and reach the results, you have to start with yourself and your own values. Because that is how nature works. We come to this world and we immediately find out the important things. Because that's how we survive, right? So I ask the question so many times, what is your personal values? And people don't know. But when we start to think about it, then we know what is important, right? So I had one of my clients, and he came into the room. And you know, sometimes when you have never met a person, but they come into the room and you immediately understand what kind of person it is. And in this case, I had working in a municipality, and every day I have clients coming in. And it could be like the top CEOs, like something like that. It could be teachers, it could be unemployed people. And sometimes they send me people that have tough lives. And it knocked on the door, and without saying come in, one guy opened the door and he came into my room. And I immediately saw that this guy, he has a tough life. By the smell, by the look, and how he managed himself. So I told him to sit down. He sat down, and I said, like, we can call him Sigge because that was his name. So I said, Sigge, what is important for you in your life? So important that if I take it away from you, I threaten you. And he didn't understand the question, and he didn't say anything. And I asked him again, and he like, nah, I don't know, that's like too deep, you know, that's not for me. So the third time I asked, but what is important? There has to be something, and you know, you start to be like a teacher. It's like righteousness, truth, speaking the truth. So I tried my hardest, and I said, like, to be honest, that is a value. That is important. And he looked at me, he said, nah. But that is like, nah. Okay, so speaking the truth, nah. Be honest, nah. And I understood that I actually was sitting with a criminal person. So I took my mobile telephone and I placed it on the table and I said like, hey, Sigge, because all of those things are not important. So if I go out from the room, do you steal my phone then? And he looked at me and he said, yes. And I started like, where is my car keys? And you know, all the computers here, like Sigge will steal everything when he comes here. Immediately, the room was changing, right? So I understood like how this will go. He never come back, by the way. It was 1 hour and that's it. We have to find out values. Here is the drive all the time. When I was a little kid, I couldn't sit still. I was up and down and everywhere. I come to first class, 7 years old, and my teacher said, sit still and sit down. It was impossible. I couldn't do it. You know, I'm 57 years old now. I can still not sit still. I was everywhere. It was one thing that was important in my life, and that was to draw. I was drawing and painting and doing things with pencils and brushes. My teacher, after some weeks, gave me paper and pen, and she said, Henric, if you sit still and you can do drawings, don't think about math or anything, just draw your cartoons. And I was like, will you please just sit still and be here? And I said, of course. What a good teacher, right? So I was sitting, I didn't listen to anything, you know, it's like I didn't follow. I was just doing my cartoons. But then I understood it was some interesting things, and I learned to read, and I learned to, you know, do some math, not so much, but some, yeah, some geography, etc. That teacher, she found out my values, right? That was creativity. So we cooperated, and we got good results. I got 10 years old. Now football is everything, you know? I even sleep with the football shoes on each side so I can smell them and feel them. No teddy bear, football shoes. Okay, same problem, a little bit more. I cannot sit still. I have hard times in school to follow. I got another teacher. He brought a journal about football and football players. And he said, Henric, if you sit still and read this and think about football, will you follow my lessons? And I said, like, well, it depends on, because, you know, there's geography, like, I don't know. Can you write a list over all the English football teams that you know and from what city? Of course, that's a good task, right? So I stayed in class. That teacher was a good leader and a good teacher because he found out what was important for me and we cooperated. So I got inspired to stay in school. I got 15 years old, and in that time, that's maybe why I put that song on. Europe boomed in Sweden. I had long curly hair because this is the 80s. I don't have it any longer. music was everything. So I was playing in band, and that was like everything. We have girls, and I was writing those poems. I was like in love non-stop. I still is, I have to say. But that was the word, music. And school, now school again was very, very far away, interesting, you know. I had one teacher, and he said, Henric, can you come to class and sit still and be here? If you can write your lyrics and songs, you know? And I said, like, yeah, I can do. Can I do that? Yes. And you keep dreaming. You keep dreaming. And I did. That teacher also, God bless him, he's dead now, but he was maybe the most important person in my life when it comes to set me on fire for the future and the jobs I will do. Why did I share this so personal? Because I love to be in Latvia and be personal, because we have to be more personal. Second, I want you to think a little bit more about your personal values. What is your drive? Number 3, what kind of persons do you have around you that you can share your values with and inspire others to find their values? Because this is the thing, because it's nature, so we don't have to work for it. It's just inside of us. Go with your values and you will create amazing things. Paldies, thank you very much.